The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Tracy, a strong and resilient woman, is now facing a terrible mental shock, a nightmare she never imagined would happen in her life. Her life is suddenly completely disrupted after what Alain Laurent did. Everything she knew and believed in has collapsed. Jack Abbott, her protective brother, has to take Tracy to the hospital in a state of mental disorder, plunging the Abbott family into a mental crisis they were never mentally prepared for. The hospital, where Tracy is taken, becomes a place that makes her feel like she is trapped in a world she cannot escape. Doctors conduct tests and mental assessments to determine the extent of the damage Tracy faces. A long period of treatment seems inevitable. These emotional shocks made her lose faith in men, especially Alain and those she once trusted. The feelings of loneliness and betrayal piled up, making her even more devastated. Ashley, Tracy's sister who had always loved and protected her, now had to face the reality that her sister was in a deep crisis. Ashley could not believe that Tracy, a strong, optimistic and resilient woman, could be pushed to this level. She could not understand why Alain did these things to Tracy, and what happened between them shattered everything she knew about her family. Ashley was constantly troubled by feelings of helplessness and fear, but she knew she needed to be there to encourage and support her sister through this crisis. Meanwhile, Jack could not sit still as Tracy struggled with this terrible mental pain. He knew that in order to help Tracy overcome her mental shock, they needed to confront the person behind the plot. Jack was not only concerned about Tracy's health, but was also determined to find evidence that Alain was involved in the plot. He asked Chance, who had experience in investigating, to thoroughly interrogate Alain and find the truth behind his strange actions. The goal was to make Alain confess, and at the same time, to unravel the dark secrets he was hiding. Chance, although not directly involved with the Abbott family, knew that the truth needed to be revealed. He began to search for clues that could help determine Alain's intentions, especially who was behind his manipulation. Through her investigations, Chance discovered that Alain did not act randomly but seemed to be driven by some force, a force with its own agenda, whether it was revenge, power, or something deeper that they could not yet recognize. But one thing was certain, Alain could not escape having to face his actions. Tracy, throughout her treatment, struggled with mixed emotions. She felt like everything was upside down, like she was no longer herself. Her sense of loss was not only because of what Alain had done but also because of her lack of trust in the men in her life. Constant nightmares kept her from finding peace, and while her doctor advised her family to take time to care for her, Tracy knew that she would face a long and difficult battle to get back on her feet. As each day passes, Ashley and Jack realize that only the support, love and patience of their family can help Tracy overcome this pain. But at the same time, they realize that they cannot ignore what Alain did. They must find the truth, not only to free Tracy, but also to bring to light the secrets that Alain and those behind him are trying to hide. It may take Tracy a long time to recover and regain her faith in life, but she is not alone. With the resilience of the Abbott family and the support of those around her, Tracy will find the strength and spirit to face this ordeal. The biggest question remains. Will Alain be brought to light and pay for what he did, or will Tracy continue to live in the darkness of secrets that cannot be revealed? A case that shakes Gone City, the horrifying secrets in Kyle's decision. Dark secrets have always been hidden deep under the surface of Gone City, where everyone has a dark side that has never been revealed. In a city that is already full of intrigue and betrayal, a case involving Alain Laurent is making things more tense than they could ever imagine. As the truths begin to emerge, they will not only shake Gone City but also force key figures, such as Jack Abbott and Kyle Abbott, to face situations they never thought they would have to face. Jack Abbott and the shock of Martin's testimony. Jack Abbott, who was once known as a steadfast man, always able to face any challenge in work and life, is now pushed into a situation that even he could not have expected. Martin's testimony will be the turning point in Jack's life. Martin has been a key part of the Abbott family for years, but when his secrets are exposed, everything changes. As Jack discovers, Martin is not only a trusted friend of the Abbott family, but also a man with secret relationships and mysterious motives. Martin's testimony will shake Gone City, as the information he reveals will clarify dark conspiracies that no one expected. The secrets of long-hidden relationships will make Jack no longer dare to face the truth. Details of secret meetings, secret deals, and complicated relationships will make Jack rethink everything he once believed. For Jack, facing these truths will not be easy. Everything will change forever if the secrets about Martin and Alan are exposed. The question is whether Jack has the courage to face this terrible truth, or will he continue to live in the dark, hiding the truths that he cannot accept. Kyle Abbott. The secret behind Diane and Martin. While Jack is facing mental shocks, Kyle Abbott is not out of the picture. He has begun to feel curious about what is happening in the Alan Loran case, and as a son who always protects his family, Kyle decides to find out for himself about the surprising relationships between Diane and Martin. At first, Kyle only suspects that Diane may be having an illicit relationship with Martin. He cannot understand why Diane, his mother, could be involved in these secret conspiracies. But as he digs deeper into the investigation, Kyle discovers relationships that he could not have imagined. According to initial suspicions, Diane not only has a tense relationship with Phyllis, Sharon, and Tracy, but she also has deep hatred for the Abbott family. Kyle begins to realize that Diane's true purpose may be to bring down Ashley Abbott. However, Diane's plan is foiled when Martin is discovered to be faking his identity. When this secret is exposed, everything becomes more complicated than ever. Diane, who has always been a model of a hardworking mother, suddenly becomes shady and dangerous in Kyle's eyes. He is faced with a difficult decision: should he hide the truth about his mother or stand up and expose everything? This question not only threatens the relationship between Kyle and Diane but also deeply affects the Abbott family, especially Ashley. Nick Newman and the protection of Sharon. Besides the crises in the Abbott family, another story is gradually unfolding in Gone City, which is the relationship between Nick Newman and Sharon. Despite going through many ups and downs in life, Nick has always been there for Sharon whenever she needs help. In the context of Alan's case and the dark truths that are gradually revealed, Nick decides to protect Sharon from all dangers and harm. Nick knows that Sharon is facing many difficulties, and he cannot let her face it all alone. As the truth about Diane and Martin begins to gradually emerge, Nick realizes that what is happening not only threatens the Abbott family but may affect Sharon as well. With all that is happening, Nick decides to protect Sharon, not only physically but also mentally. He plans a family trip that he hopes will help Sharon relax and get away from the stress of the case. However, Nick also cannot help but think about the dangers that may lurk as Sharon continues to face these dark secrets. Will the family trip help Sharon overcome her anxieties, or will it only make things more complicated? An uncertain future. With all the secrets slowly being exposed, the future of Gone City and the main characters in the story are in a state of uncertainty. Jack Abbott has to face shocking testimony from Martin. Kyle Abbott discovers terrible truths about his mother and Diane's relationship with Martin, while Nick Newman always protects Sharon from the hidden conspiracies. The case of Alan Loran and the secrets surrounding it will continue to cause turmoil, not only for the Abbott family but also for the relationships in Gone City. Will these characters have the courage to face the truth, or will they continue to hide it to protect what is left in their lives? One thing is for sure: every decision they make will have unpredictable consequences, and only time will tell whether they can overcome this challenge or not. Secrets revealed and the new battle for justice, the future of Sharon, Nick, Victoria, and Diane. Things seem to be coming to a head in Gone City. Long-hidden secrets have been exposed, and the battles between justice and truth have begun. Recently, Martin, an important figure in the city's power game, was arrested and exposed as the mastermind of the previous horrific kidnapping. This is the opportunity that Sharon Newman has been waiting for, to truly start a new life, free from the ghosts of the past. Martin arrested, Sharon finds herself again with Martin being arrested and officially becoming the kidnapper. Sharon's life, which has always been full of tragedy and crisis, now has a chance to change. Martin has made Sharon live in anxiety and insecurity for a long time, and finally, he has to face justice. Although this truth cannot erase the pain that Sharon has gone through, at least it gives her a new chance, a chance to find herself and restore her normal life. Sharon no longer has to fear the pursuits or plots that Martin once orchestrated. She has overcome that nightmare, and now, she can start over, finding peace in her soul. However, to do that, Sharon knows that she has a long way to go. Although Martin has been arrested, the psychological battle she faces is not over yet. She needs to recover, and to do that, the support of those around her, especially Nick, is indispensable. Victoria Newman. Special concern for her brother. While Sharon is facing difficult emotions, Victoria Newman, Nick's younger sister, has her own concerns. She couldn't help but worry about her brother, who had been under tremendous pressure for a long time while constantly dealing with the troubles related to Sharon. Although Victoria understood and sympathized with Nick's love for Sharon, she also realized that her brother had gone through too many trials, and now it was time for him to rest and heal. Victoria would not hesitate to give a tough advice. Nick needed to temporarily stay away from Sharon and the troubles related to her. She believed that, after everything that had happened, Nick deserved some time to recover mentally and not have to face any more crises. Victoria understood that Nick's love for Sharon was real, but she also realized that sometimes, to save a relationship, the person involved had to know how to set limits and temporarily separate from what was hurting them. Nick, while not agreeing with blaming Sharon for all of his problems, cannot deny that things would be better if he could temporarily withdraw from it all. He understands that, in order to protect himself and maintain his relationship with Sharon, he needs time to think things through clearly. Victoria's support may be an important factor in helping Nick find the right path during this time. Sharon and Phyllis, searching for reasons and justice. Meanwhile, Sharon and Phyllis are both asking big questions about why Martin wanted to kidnap them. Both of them cannot understand Martin's motives for committing such a terrible act, and together they try to solve these mysteries. Sharon, who has suffered too much trauma, cannot accept the reason given by Martin. She and Phyllis are determined to investigate the incident together, hoping to find the truth behind Martin's plot. Phyllis, always known for her sharpness and investigative ability, will be the one to stand up with Sharon to face the unanswered questions. They will do everything to better understand Martin's true intentions, as well as the people behind this plot. Both hope that, once they find the truth, they can help justice be served and make the perpetrators pay. Diane and the escape plan. Meanwhile, Diane, who is living in fear that Martin's testimony could be used as evidence to incriminate her as the mastermind of the kidnapping, is planning to bail Martin out. Diane cannot sit idly by and watch things fall apart, and she decides to do everything she can to help Martin escape the law, including finding ways to hide the truth and divert the attention of the police. Diane is living in extreme fear, knowing that if Martin's testimony becomes public, she will not be able to escape the charges she is suspected of. Therefore, her plan is to find a way to get Martin out of prison, hoping that when things calm down, she will be able to escape surveillance and start over. However, Diane does not anticipate that things will not be that easy. Her secrets have been exposed too many times, and running away from Gone City may be the only way she can protect herself. Jack Abbott and the mysterious disappearance of Diane. Jack Abbott, Diane's ex-husband, will face a confusing situation when she suddenly disappears under mysterious circumstances. Although he no longer has feelings for Diane, Jack cannot deny that he still cares for her, especially when Diane's disappearance occurs in this tense context. Jack will not be able to understand what is happening, and Diane's disappearance will only increase the confusion in the Abbott family. He will try to find out the truth and whether Diane is escaping the city to avoid punishment from justice. Conclusion. Internal and external wars. From the tense confrontations between Sharon, Nick, Victoria, and Diane, to the secrets that have not been revealed, Goa City seems to be entering a relentless war. Sharon will try to start her life over, but her past still haunts her. Nick will face a difficult decision between love and self-preservation. Diane, with her plot to escape the law, may put the Abbott family in a more tense situation than ever. A battle for justice will erupt on the young and the restless, and the outcome will not only decide the future of the characters but also reshape the entire landscape of Gone City.